Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm checking out a new to me brand at Sephora. This is the Merit Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Foundation and Concealer Stick. Retails for $38 for 0.13 ounce or 3.7 grams of product. Comes in 20 different shades. I've got this in the shade Ecru, which looks like it's, the fourth-ish shade from the lightest, but the shade recommendations on the shade finder were either Ecru or Dune. They're both on the light end, light with cool undertones, or in this case, light with peach undertones. I was putting in the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. That recommended shade Dune, and then I put in what I prefer as my match, the Makeup Forever Reboot in R230, and that came up with Ecru, so I went with Ecru. This one is currently getting 4.2 out of 5 stars with over 300 reviews on Sephora's website. They say it is a lightweight, medium coverage complexion stick with a natural looking finish to replace foundation and concealer in your makeup bag. This is hitting 3 big check marks here. If you are into clean beauty, it is clean at Sephora. It is also a cruelty-free brand and a vegan brand. So this is a vegan foundation. It's a 2-in-1 complexion stick, lets you make edits only where you need them. It conditions skin, locks in moisture. It's got sea daffodil extract for diminishing the appearance of pigmentation and dark spots. And they say that it provides buildable, blendable coverage with lightweight, hydrating texture, wears throughout the day without settling into fine lines. So they're really speaking my language with all of these claims. We will see if they hold up. Let's take a look at this shade Ecru, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is from Merit, the Minimalist Foundation Stick in shade Ecru. Second, I've got from Makeup Forever, the Reboot Foundation in R230. This is what the Sephora Shade Finder said was a match. I completely disagree. Third up, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Fourth is what I would say is the closest matched here, the MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last, I've got from Misha, the Perfect Cover BB Cream in 21. I already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 46-year-old face. I have skipped the primer today because they recommend that you apply this with a brush, and stick foundations on me tend to need to be sort of manipulated a bit more to get them to melt into the skin, and that tends to move around primer, and so I just did not apply primer. Here is what we got going on with the stick. Cute, right? So we are just going to use a brush today, and I am going to attempt to use this as concealer as well, and we'll see how it goes. This blended out pretty easily for a stick foundation. I do think it is pretty light coverage at one pass, but if you compare side to side, this is doing a pretty good job at redness correction, especially on my chin. Definitely looks like a natural finish. I am going to use this as concealer as well. Let's attempt to build it up, and I might as well just do this side, and we'll see how it looks one side to the other after it's been built up. See how much coverage we can actually get out of this thing. This is my e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I think I'm preferring it in one pass. I am starting to kind of see makeup building up on top of itself instead of looking smooth and melting together. We'll see if maybe as it sits on the skin a little longer, if it sort of melts together, but I'm starting to see buildup of product just sitting on top of the skin. So I think it looked better with just one pass of product, but here's the coverage side to side. I would say we are at a high light coverage. I wouldn't quite call this medium in terms of how much of my sunspots I can still see. Let's get that other side finished up. I think one pass is definitely the way to go. It looks much more smooth and you really can't see it on top of the skin when you do it in one pass. Let's get this on as concealer and see how this goes. I'm just using a flat concealer brush. It's not quite emollient enough for my preference for concealer because it's immediately kind of looking dry on the fine lines under this eye. And I think it's just, it's not a super emollient formula. It blends fine, but you know, if I think about the one I always go back to is the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick. It's so emollient that I can't even believe it's a stick most of the time. Ooh, I don't like how this is sitting on the skin under the eyes. It just looks dry. Dry and a little bit clingy to dry skin. It's not clinging to dry skin on my face so much. A little bit actually on my chin, but it's definitely doing it under my eyes. Let's zoom in and take a look at this one. So, you know, on the side where I tried to build it up, it is definitely sitting on top of the skin in some places. On the side I did not build it up, it looks a lot more smooth. It is clinging to any place where I've got any flaking or peeling skin going on. The coverage it's not super consistent with the coverage, and I feel like the problem with that is that if you really can't build it up, then it's going to be difficult to make sure your coverage is even. Oh, it looks really bad under my eyes, you guys. Not a fan of how it's clinging under my eyes, but let's check the time. It is 1:55 p.m. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Merit stick. I did not have to set this with powder, which is a very good thing. I'm not at all liking how this looks up close. I feel like I have snake skin and dislike. I think everything came together fine, but up close, it's just clinging to every little piece of any bit of flaking whatsoever. And, you know, the thing is, I could skip reviewing foundations on days when I have that going on. I feel like every couple months I'm shedding like a snake anyway. But the thing is, not everybody has that luxury. Some people deal with skin issues, flaking, etc. every single day. And so there is no avoiding it. The only avoiding it would be don't wear makeup. And a lot of us enjoy wearing makeup. I enjoy wearing makeup. I prefer to wear makeup. I will go out even to work anywhere with a totally blank face, and that's totally fine, but I like wearing makeup. I enjoy putting it on. I enjoy having it on my face. So it's not an option for everyone to just, you know, not wear makeup on days when they're flaking, because that might be every day. So I do test, regardless of what condition my skin is in, because somebody out there is having that same situation and wants to know if these products work under those conditions. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think this looks fine at a distance, but up close, there's just a whole lot of clinging to all kinds of flake and everything. So, you know, that's where we're starting out. On the rest of my face, still playing with the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. My blush bronzer highlights are all Wayne Goss. My mascara, totally, absolutely loving this stuff. It's in my new favorites, I will say. Number 7, the Full 360 Ultra mascara. My lip is the Lifter Gloss from Maybelline. Oh, that's not the one. I'm wearing this one in shade Brass. I believe this is a CVS exclusive shade. And that's about all we got going on here, I think. Did I miss anything? Still absolutely new favorite. Love, adore, favorite. Fingerprints, Anastasia Brow Freeze, and I've been enjoying the Tattoo Studio Ash Brown to fill in the gaps. So that's where we're at. I'll be back in a bit with a daylight check-in, then I will come back tonight and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, it has been about 5 hours with the Merit foundation. I did just get a good look at it in the mirror in the bathroom. On the bright side, it's quite a bit more dewy than it started out, and that has sort of melted some of the flakes that were visible, you know, back into my skin so that you can't really see them anymore. So that snakeskin sort of effect is no longer, so that's good. Fairly comfortable, but it's starting to feel a little bit tight, a little bit dry. Like I feel it, I really can see it under my eye. Like just, I know my camera's not gonna focus this close, but you can really tell that it's drying under my eyes. So this is definitely not something that I'm gonna use as concealer. I think you can also kind of see the drag lines, like my micro wrinkles on my forehead showing up, which that's what happens when my skin starts getting more dehydrated throughout the day. The color seems a little off on me. I'm not sure exactly what I would say the color. I feel like maybe it's a little too warm toned, or it oxidized a little bit warmer on me than it started out. It doesn't look peach anymore. It looks more yellow. There's my coloring, my neck for comparison. I'm not finding too many reasons to love this for dry skin. That's where we're at 5 hours in. I will come back tonight. We'll wrap this one up. 12 a.m. on the nose. Let's take a look at how the Merit Minimalist foundation stick held up. So I took a look in the mirror as I sat down just now, and the words out of my mouth were, oh no. So yeah, all the snake skin is back. All the little flakies are visible again. Maybe they were still visible and I just wasn't looking closely enough this afternoon. Here's the thing. It's decently comfortable. My skin does feel a little tight at this point in the night, but you know, we're a good 10 hours into this, so it's been a minute. It's kind of breaking apart everywhere. It's bunching up everywhere. It has settled into my deeper lines. Let's just zoom in and take a look at this one. Everything around my nose is, some pores have polka dot pores going on. Some of the skin alongside of my nose that is a little bit flaky is bunched up and clinging there. It's very flaky, patchy, bunched up on my upper lip. My chin has completely broken down. Blush, bronzer, and highlight are still very well intact, which makes me think if you're not dealing with any kind of dry or flaking skin, you might have better luck with it. It still does look quite blurred there, so you know, if you do have less going on in terms of skin issues, that might be something that works out. Looking at my under eyes, they look horrible. The coverage has completely vanished. Purple is coming through like crazy. Product is just bunched up, settled into my fine lines on my under eyes. It doesn't look bad on my forehead or between my eyebrows, but it is starting to bunch up and break down a bit, so I don't have very many good things to say. I think if you have dry skin, this is a maybe. But if you have flaking dry skin or peeling dry skin, it's a nope. Like a serious nope. Like a nope. Like a big capital N, N-O-P-E, nope. If you have maturing skin, it seems to settle into deeper lines, but not really into more fine lines, except for under my eyes. So your mileage may vary. If I had to give a grade to the Merit Minimalist, I'm gonna go D-. The only reason I'm not going to give this an F is because it does look quite nice on my cheeks where I don't really have many fine lines or movement lines going on, and I don't really have any flaking skin going on. So I think there's potential for this to be a nice product on skin that has fewer issues than mine. That said, my skin doesn't have very many issues, so I'm gonna go D-. That's about as good as I can do on this one. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you enjoyed this one, please give me a thumbs up down below. Check out geekoutofwater.com. Click the Foundation Fest link. I have a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet of all 200 plus of my foundation reviews on there. Swipe that thing. There's a ton of data in there. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for new videos. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.